This time we want a frequency table and a histogram. And we'll see how that's a little different than a bar chart as we create this. Okay, so for our frequency table, what we are counting is a score on a test, so we'll put that here. We'll tabulate the frequency that it happens. Here we'll do our calculations, and then here will be our relative frequency, which is 8%. So we look over the data and we have to kind of see, well, it looks like they scored at 10 points. It must have been, each question was worth 10 points. You either got full points or not. We've got a 30 at the low, 100 at the high. A lot of times when we do scores, we like to start with the high score at the top. It doesn't have to be that way, but let's go ahead. So I'll put 100, 90, 80, 70, 60, 50, 40, and 30. So that's the 30 is a low score. So I look over, we get started at either end. Let's start with the 30s. I see there is only 130. And I look and look and look, oh, there are no 40s, so I will still account for it. There are 0 40s. The 50s, we look up at our list and we see that there are 4 50s in there. The 60s, let's see, I think I count 3. 70s, look over carefully, we find 6. 80s, there are 5 of those. 90s, there are only 2 in the whole list. And hundreds, there are 3 of those. So what we have to do is we have to total this list. See, there's 110. That's 5 and 5 is 10. So we've got our 24 as our total. Should make the arithmetic a little easier because our last problem had a total of 24, or a previous one anyway. So again, to calculate the relative frequency, we take the amount that we have, the frequency, divided by 24 times 100, and we get 12.5% here. The 90s, we get 2 divided by 24 times 100. That gives us 8.3%. 5 divided by 24 times 100, and that's going to give us 20.8% rounded. 6 divided by 24 times 100 gives us our 25%. 3 divided by 24 times 100 gives us 12.5%, just like we had with the hundreds. 4 divided by 24 times 100 gives us 16.7%. 0 divided by 24 times 100 gives us 0%. And 1 divided by 24 times 100 gives us 4.2%. Again, we want to add the percentages together sort of to do a check, and even with all the rounding, we ended up at 100% even. Nice when that happens. So now when we come over to the histogram, what's going to be a little different is we'll still keep track of the frequency vertically. So we see we've got a total of 6, a high of 6, a low of 0. So we're going to have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now on this other side, we could also use percentages, and oftentimes a histogram has both amounts and percentages. We're just going to make it a little more simple. On the bottom, though, this is going to be a number line. It's not going to be groups. So typically what we'll do is I've got to go from 30 to 100. So I'm going to put a little squiggly here to show that I don't really start, that this first one is a jump to 30, so that's not to scale. Then I got a 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, and 100. Now, what often happens is you have to define which side is the number you're looking at. So 30, usually it's the left-hand side. So 30 had 1, so we'll come up with this. 40 had 0, so we don't do anything there. 50 had 4, so we'll go up to 4. Come up here, notice how everything's going to be connected. 60 had 3, so we're connected right off of there. 70 had 6, so we are still connected here. We're way up here though. Come up to 6. And 80 had 5, so we'll come on right off of here. 90 had 2. And 100 had 3. So come up to 3 over. There's other ways this could be done. We could group around the 30s, but maybe putting one down here just to emphasize that that's 0. But that's a histogram taken from a frequency table.